Hey guys, Adam Cogswell here with the Trinity Force Network. I'm standing with Nick at the Brawlhalla booth. Nick, how are you doing?
I'm good, Adam. How are you?
Hey, I am fantastic. It's the end of the day, Saturday, or nearing it, and we just got to see your awesome game. We got to play a little bit of it. Like I've been telling you before we started, I am jonesing for a new fighting game. Ever since Street Fighter V does not scratch that itch anymore, and I think I probably found it today in Brawlhalla.
Oh, that is excellent. That's fantastic news. I'm so glad that you're having a blast with it.
And you know what? Okay, so before we get too far in this, because I could just toot your horn all day about how much fun it was when I was playing it in there. Let's talk about what Brawlhalla is and why people should be playing it, because I'm sure people see the name, they look at it, but they don't actually know what they're getting into.
Right. So Brawlhalla is it's 2D action platform fighter. It's in the brawler genre. You beat each other up, you knock each other off the stage, you take lives off them. That's the gist. It's a fighting game. It's for friends, it's for family, it's for everyone. Why should you be playing it? It's free. We make it for free. The game is completely free to play. It's on Steam right now. You can download it this very instant. We have Mac and PC clients, and we support a gigantic slew of controllers. And if you have a controller that we don't recognize, we have a thread in the Steam forum that you send a link to us. We will make sure that happens.
Wow, very cool. You guys seem to be very community driven, which is awesome.
Yes.
I like that a lot. And I had asked you, and one of the things that always is near and dear to me is frame data, hitboxes, hurtboxes, and stuff. Because if I get into a game, I get into it too far, right? I have to.
You got to do your research, you know?
Actually, we were standing there, and as you were talking, we can talk about stances and stuff here in a moment too, because people probably want to know, how do you make a fighting game competitive? How do you balance it rather than changing frames? And there's a lot to it.
Oh yes.
So I start looking at those things, and I'm sure everyone else's brain starts ticking. I can this is how you min-max a character. This is how you make the character the best. So why don't we talk about stances? Talk about how you guys are balancing the game and making it easy for competitive play.
Oh gosh, okay, so
easy, probably the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
So that's a lot. So as for balancing, that is a gigantic task that we have two very special people back in the office. That is their sole job. There are balancing. We have a lot of people play testing, and we give our feedback on how things are designed and developed and stuff. But ultimately, they cast judgment and they make the tweaks and all that kind of stuff. So as for getting good at the game, getting better, we have tons of people making Twitch and YouTube content and teaching you how to play the game. We, as you mentioned in our training mode, we show you frame data, hitboxes, hurtboxes, stun times, the amount of damage, all that kind of good stuff, so you can start dissecting tweaks in between patches and when new characters come out, and learning that way.
Very cool. And I know we talked about the stances, which I guess stance is probably not the best word for it, considering you can't really switch a stance in the game, more of like a loadout, right?
So we actually do call the item that you're changing a stance. Okay. But you have a stance for each stat, and it's something that you earn for playing each of the legends. So we have a progression system in game. When you unlock a legend and you play them, you gain experience, and you start unlocking color palettes, and you unlock stances as well. Okay. And a stance lets you kind of tweak variants on the different stats for each of the legends.
Okay, and how does that work? There's like an old Street Fighter meme, right? Counterpick, where if you lock in and then someone else goes to lock in, you can unlock and pick something else. Now, when you're doing those loadouts, can each person on screen? I call them loadouts. Can each person on screen see what you're doing? Like for competitive play, is there any kind of weird mind games anyone's playing with doing those?
So for local and custom tournaments, yes, you can absolutely see that. For online tournaments, you can't see that until you get to the scoreboard, or not the scoreboard, the match preview. So if you're queuing online, you can't see that until you're being loaded into the game. But if you were in the lobby with that user, you can see it. Okay.
I know the answer to this, but I want you to tell everybody else what kind of what are we talking about for the net code for this? Is it GPO, peer-to-peer? What are we looking at?
We don't use peer-to-peer. We have our own in-house proprietary solution. We are completely server-based. So we've spun up servers in all the different popular regions, and people, they connect to those servers. Each region has its own ranked ladder, their own elo, everything. So when you're playing a game, you spin up a game on those servers, that's who you're connecting with. We also give users the option to set up a backup server. So if for some reason the queue times aren't to their satisfaction, we can be like, hey, be advised that there might be some latency issues, but you can pick a backup server if you want to prioritize faster queues.
Okay, very cool. What is the next big thing coming out here for Brawlhalla? What's people looking for? I know there's probably a lot of people who come listen to this. They're going to go try it out free to play after they watch this interview or even visit PAX for the weekend. So what's next for you guys? What should people be looking for?
Oh gosh, so we got a lot of things on the horizon. So one of the biggest things, PS4. We're coming to PS4. We are super pumped up and fired up about that. We've got a playable demo of it running on the console here on the show floor. That's happening really soon. We don't have an official release date yet, but it is going to happen. It's very soon. We really want to make sure that we can support crossplay. We've been going back and forth with Sony about that, and hopefully that's something we can make happen. We are very excited about that kind of possibility. Other things to be excited about. We have some new stuff coming to the game. We have some new maps coming that are going to better fit the heroes and their lore and their backgrounds. It's something that our community has really been asking for and something that we want to bring to them and breathe a little bit more life into the game. We've also got the Brawl of the Week. That's going to be a new online queue. We're going to start giving players rewards for things like first win of the day and participation and stuff like that. And the Brawl of the Week, the way it's going to work is there's going to be a random game mode once a week that you can queue for. We're going to be starting with a version of a game that we have called Brawl Ball. It's going to be a 3v3 queue.
That's the one that we just previously.
Yes, that's the one we played, and we're going to be adding. We're going to start adding custom HUDs to these game modes and polishing up the map art and tweaking the rules and the gameplay to kind of fit the new meta of the game. Because when they came out a long time ago, we didn't have certain things like fast fall or chain dodging and all that kind of stuff, and they kind of break some of the game a little bit. So we're going to be working hard to polish those up and get those out and kind of give people something new and quirky to queue into. And it'll be the first time that Brawl Ball is ever going to have its own matchmaking queue.
Okay, very cool. All right, so double whammy question coming your way right now. For those players that don't want to play the free-to-play version, they feel like they just need to jump in there. Do you offer an option for players to buy everything? Yes.
So for people who are like, that's great and all, but they turn their nose up at free-to-play, or it's got some stink on it, which sometimes it does. Sure. We actually offer a flat rate. It's like, hey, for a bundle for $20, you can get all the heroes that we've ever made, all the legends, and all the legends that we will ever make. So you kind of buy into that, and everything else. The game is free. We make our money from microtransactions, skins, taunts, all that kind of good stuff.
And I saw that, just to talk about the skins a little bit, I like the idea when we're playing in there, if I buy a skin, if I buy 2 or 3 of them, I can change out some of those skin assets between skins. So I'm not stuck with just one skin, right?
Correct. So when you buy a skin in the game, it comes with every hero or every legend has 2 weapons. And every skin will come with also item skins for those weapons. And so you might choose this legend skin, their outfit, and you want to change the skin for the lance or the sword that they might be using. Those are all independent.
Okay. Very cool. Nick, anything else you want to let our anybody know besides just go play it, right?
Yes, we got a new character coming out real soon.
There we go.
You guys saw it in the other room. It is the fabled Vortex that has been cultivated over a long time overdue by our online communities, the people on Reddit, the people in our Twitch community.
I think people think you're trolling right now. I really don't think it's coming.
I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not.
I'll tell you guys, it's not actually coming out.
Oh, I don't know. Who are you gonna trust? Me or this guy you just met? I don't even know.
That's right. Cool. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview
thank you so
today.
much.
Guys, go and check out Brawlhalla.